Look at how beautiful the mountain is out. I mean, we live in a fantastic place. No doubt about it here in Western Washington. Now I wanted to get to a topic that just continues to drive a lot of conversation around here. A push to end the yearly practice of falling back and springing forward, and it is continuing to gain steam in Olympia this legislative session. State Representative Marcus Riccelli sponsoring a bill that would put our state potentially on the path to going to year-round daylight saving time. Representative, thank you very much for being here.
Pleased to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your bill.
Well, I'm here to ditch the switch, bring the light. I think it's a common sense proposal. I came to it from a healthcare angle. The Department of Health actually did a health impact review that showed that heart attacks increase, strokes increase, there's more traffic accidents after we switch our clocks. So it just makes common sense to me that we move in this direction.
I like the idea of not changing time twice a year. I think a lot of people like that as well. You had a public hearing yesterday. What was the response?
Yeah, the response was good. There was a lot of good questions, and it was more get the information out. This has really been more a social media movement, so I know there's consensus out there. There was positive testimony, and I think we'll just build on that and get the word out. It seems like something that could sweep the whole West Coast and maybe our country, and people are tired of this.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, the one question I always hear whenever we do this story is, why go to daylight saving time year-round versus standard time year-round? What's your answer to that?
My answer is I'm a parent, talk to parents. You get after-school sports. I think that people want to enjoy the evenings more, take a walk after they get done with work. It's no fun to leave work and it's dark out. And I'd also, from a health standpoint, talk about our behavioral health folks. The mental health aspect of having light more up when you're up and about and around, I think is really important. So I think across the board, this is a win-win.
This is something, though, that just because your bill passes doesn't mean that this immediately converts to we don't fall back and spring forward. What is the process?
Well, the process here would be to pass the bill, but we need some federal approval. So I also put a referendum clause so we'd have a vote at our next election to really give a shot in our arm to our congressional delegation to allow us to do this at the federal level. California's passed a proposition to the legislature. There's proposals in Oregon, and Florida has passed this measure. So it's time. I think this is sweeping the country, but let's make Washington first.
I just read that Wyoming, Montana are considering going to the no falling back and springing forward as well. So certainly it is a big conversation. Have you had conversations with the governor's office, with the feds, who could help facilitate this?
I've talked with federal staff, and my next, really I'm focusing on getting the bill out of committee. And I think as we bring that momentum forward, I think that our congressional delegation will take notice, and I'll look forward to having chats with them and pushing it with them. We got a hashtag ditch the switch.
And I know that the public vote is really important, you believe, for making that case. I mean, clearly voters in California overwhelmingly approve it. You think the same thing could happen here?
You can't ignore the will of the people.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about this session, though. This is an idea that's been out there for a while, but at least in my perspective, it feels like there's more chatter about it. Do you think you get it out of the session?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it out of committee, then get a floor vote, and I think there's a lot of ways to stop legislation. There's a high bar to pass it, but I think at every point we can make the case. But with the bipartisan support, with citizens coming out to share their enthusiasm, I think we can get it done.
That is my last point I want to make with you. You're a Democrat, you're from Spokane, other side of the state, but there are Democrats on this side of the state who are supporting this.
Right.
There are Republicans from both sides of the state. I mean, this is kind of bridges the two big divides in our state, the East versus West and Republicans versus Democrats.
Absolutely. If we can change time, we can change anything. And you know what? We're not the other Washington. We can function. And when we come together, let's show that we can do stuff with strong, emphatically push this through and be excited about getting it done.
Representative Marcus Riccelli, thank you very much for being here. Keep us posted on how the bill goes.
All right. Thanks, Travis.
Appreciate it very much.